go ahead and introduce myself first.
Okay.
I'm Andre Miner with RSG. I'm the operations manager, and we're going to do a property inspection today at Midline.
Alright guys, so Midline, this is the plant we're at right here. We're going to go around and do a property inspection, and I'm going to let Andre talk and just tell us all about what he looks for when he is looking at the property after a crew has been here.
Okay, well, this property is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of complicated areas. So a lot of properties we have to get out and do some footwork as well and walk the property. But this one we can primarily ride around in the truck and take a look. But what I'm looking for is, again, whether or not the property is being maintained as far as the grass cutting, weeding. I noticed that we still haven't pruned out here yet, so we got some pruning to do on our trees and shrubs. We have mulched. I see a couple little weeds here that we need to take care of. As far as mowing height and turf, we don't do broadleaf weed control at this property. So the weeds that I see in the turf I'm not concerned about because it's not in our contract. But it could be a potential upsell at a later date if they want to improve their turf. So I'm looking at, to make sure that our mulch, as far as our mulch beds are weeded. There's no excessive weeds. As far as our mulching, the mulch looks good. I'm also looking at cracks and crevices as I'm driving down the road, parking lots, to see if there's any overgrown weeds in the cracks. That's our responsibility. And we're looking pretty good so far because I just had a guy out last week and he sprayed the cracks and he sprayed the beds. And pretty much on this part of the property is where all the tractor trailers back up into the plant, so it's not a whole bunch that we do. But there can be weeds popping up along the loading docks that we're responsible for, which we look good. We mow an edge around the entire perimeter, and that's pretty straightforward. Again, it's not a property where it's overly overwhelming as far as expectations of the turf, because it is a factory, but we want to keep it looking as neat and as good as possible. So just as I'm riding along, again, I'm not noticing any crack weeds or anything that's a major concern. We actually have a crew. This is Monday. We have a crew that's coming out tomorrow to mow. So this hasn't been mowed yet this week, but the grass height is still actually pretty good, even though we've had a lot of rain. And I can see where there was crack weeds that are browned out and dying from our treatments last week.
So if you had to give the property a letter grade right now, what kind of letter grade would you give the property?
I would give it a C to a B because it's just the turf itself. It's not an A plus. I mean, as far as what we do, I can give it a B because of just the expectations of the property. But I think there's a potential for us to upsell and maybe get the client to invest a little bit more into their turf to get some of the weeds out, and which would enhance the overall property. But as far as what we do at RSG and what the expectation is as far as the contract, we're doing everything we're supposed to do. I mean, there's bare spots in the turf, but you can see the turf is very there's rocky, a lot of rocks, a lot of erosion. So it's not going to. I mean, we can aerate and seed it, but that's going to take time to improve that strand of turf over on the hill. But the biggest thing I see with the property right now is we need to do some pruning. We need to get out and prune the shrubs. And I think the property will be where we needed to be. So overall, I would rate this property as good.
Alright guys, so since we are done riding around looking at the property, the next thing we have to do is Andre will fill out a form on his phone. It is the property inspection form, and that will get sent to the branch manager, Chris, as well as the vice president, Dwayne, in order for them to see how the property is doing. The form lists a number of things, asks how different aspects of the property are doing, like crack weed control, diseases in the turf, to even stuff like mowing height, mulch, and shrubs. But I think that's about it, and so I just want to thank you for your time today, and thanks for explaining it to us.
No problem. Glad I could help.
Yeah. Alright guys, that's it for me. See you in the next one.